Hey, my friends, it's your friend Kevin. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all of you. This is your divine blast of the day. All right, before we get to our message of the day from the spirits, the fairies, and the angels, I want to do a shameless self plug. Why not? Everyone else is. If you go to the link at the bottom of this screen, kevincross.com/book online, don't forget the hyphen, you will find a menu of spiritual services. I would love to chat with you one-on-one. And if you're free on a Sunday afternoon, you've got nothing else to do, put your feet up, have a cup of tea, and we'll have a chat. That's a discounted reading for the month of December. Let's get back to the reading. All right, so let's get going with our angel numerology day, which is number 2. Actually, today adds up to a 20. And sometimes when I get a solid number like 20, and we get that by adding up the date, 12 plus 9 plus 2024, and it comes up with 20. When I get that extra 0, I like to assign it to some sort of form of divination. So 0 is divine messages. The energy where a 0 is at the end of it is the situation or a story. There's divine reverence to the number 2 being present. And it works with the world and the Dreamer card, which is 0 in Radley Valentine's tarot, and obviously the number 20 in traditional tarot. But let's go with the 2 and then add a divine element to it. Keeping the faith, being careful with our negative thinking. Diplomacy is what I give this number 2 angel numerology day. I should probably do something for 20, find out, but let's just call it divine diplomacy for today. Going gently throughout the day, thinking of things that are harmonious, being supportive to yourself and considerate. Be sensitive, and that's okay to be vulnerable, to feel sensitive, to feel somewhat emotional. It's about being loving, cooperative, having that loving, divine, feminine energy. Don't give up on anything that you're working on. Ask for help wherever you need it. Reach out for the support that you need. And here's the other part of this. Everything is going to be okay. If you want a little bit of extra divine help, call upon Archangel Jophiel, an Archangel Raguel that balances out these feelings. You know, spiky feelings, emotional feelings. These holidays bring up traditions. They remind us of who is no longer here with us and who is making those transitions out into the spiritual world. It brings up an awful lot, a great deal of deep emotions. Now let's get to the blast of the day. I pulled from the Angel Affirmation deck Archangel Jeremiah. Call upon me the mercy of God for forgiveness so you can move forward and make choices uninhibited by your past. And here we go. I release the past with gratitude and forgiveness. I joyfully create the future of my dreams. Sometimes we do have to release and let go of certain things that hold us back. My isms to push through it. I am a magical manifester. I am effortlessly thriving and abundant. That comes up if you have lack issues, if you have struggles with money and finances and prosperity and success, if you're feeling a little hard done by, a little bit like, ooh, I don't know. And I am magnificent, because you are. We are. We are a body of importance. Ishtar is the goddess that I pulled from the Divine Masters deck yesterday. And she's about inner learning. She is about following your heart. Ishtar works with the 8-pointed star, and sometimes has been called the goddess of love, the goddess of war, the goddess of fertility. Ishtar presents herself at times where we are reconciling what we have been taught and what we now believe, and asks us to take on anything that we feel is a level of injustice, is a level of wants some clarity to it. Now, in addition to the influence of Ishtar, we have the Thones. This comes from another Kyle Gray deck, Angelic Activation. Now, a little bit about the Thones. They represent God's majesty and justice, and they're symbols of God's authority. Now, God can be source energy, the great creator. I find it to be anything and everything that ever got created for us to use. All the planets, not just Earth. The Thrones are associated with power, or rather the power of judgment. They are, in the Bible, in Ezekiel, describe the Thrones as looking like wheels that have eyes in them. And they represent the all-knowing, all-seeing, and all authority of the great creator. The Thrones function are a bit like counselors. Counselors to the angels. They help people realize and listen and act with God's will, or will of the divine, if you will. They're said to reside in an area of the cosmos where material form starts, where it starts to take shape and take form, which is why, Sandalphon takes our prayers up to the divine creator and said, this is what this group of people on earth are praying for. It's what they want to have happen. Metatron moves time and space and forges forward. He's often seen in the tarot tradition wielding the chariot. There's a white horse and a black horse. The balance of darkness and light, pushing time. And then we have Orion, who works in space, in stars, bringing the realms together. Quite fascinating. All right. Gertrude and Beatrice are with us, and I took a little look. Where are they? They are sitting in the middle of a circle of light. And the circle of light are basically, if you can imagine, humongous big tapered candles. Like, for them, they're sitting in the middle and they're looking in awe of this ring of light. This ring of candles. Oh, there's our card. Optimism. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Well, I like the two because these two flipped out. Remember yesterday I shuffled and one card, knowledge, I think it was, that came out backwards. So this is how the fairies work with us. And so sitting in this, oh, I love this. Sitting in this middle of this ring of, Beatrice is saying it's a ring of fire. It's the ring of passion. It's the ring of love. It's the ring of joy. It's the ring of all of this. And Gertrude is the strength, the fairy of strength. So these two fairies have popped in. Now, as they're sitting in the middle of this ring of fire, each one of these candles are changing colors and they're working with the colors of the chakra system. However, what it's doing, it's where you've got red. Now, when I see red, I've got my eyes closed. When I see the red of this ring of fire, I'm seeing the red at where 6 o'clock would be on the face of on the clock face down below. And then I'm moving into the color of flame, orange. But, or I should say, and the cast of red, deep red, is moving in that tomato color, then goes into the wonderful crushing color, citrus color of orange, and then it moves into around 9 o'clock. In there, we've got yellow, the solar plexus, and then we move on around the clock face in this circle of light, and we get to we're coming up towards like 10, 11, almost to noon, and we're going through this beautiful, gorgeous citrus yellow into the green. And then we move into the Kelly green color, and it's beginning to lighten up into the blues, if I've got this correct. And now we're moving into the spectrum of blue, which is around 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. In that area, we've got these beautiful pale hues of turquoise and lovely colors of blue. It's like a spectrum of blue, and then moving on into a deeper shade of indigo, and then we go on into our deep purples, which would be around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock on a clock face, and then finally we get to the 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock area, and we've got that violet. And so when I'm looking at this ring of fire, I'm starting at the bottom and working around in a circle clockwise and seeing these colors changing. Wow, that's quite something. This is the vision, or the vision, cosmic vision of optimism. Optimism and strength. Here's what I've got to say about that. You can be sensitive. You can feel sensitive. You can feel all the emotional feelings that you have around this time of the year, particularly as you are going into, in the Northern Hemisphere, the winter season. And then moving through all of that, find strength from the ability to get in touch with your emotional self. Find strength from the ability of looking at things optimistic. Find strength in asking for help and saying, listen, I'm magnificent and I've got magnificent things to do. And I'm hoping all this is making sense, because when I sit down, I was explaining it to somebody yesterday, I sit down in the moment of the day, and shortly thereafter I will send this on. So this card of optimism is asking us to train ourselves to become more optimistic, and notice how things start to change for the better. We have to be, according to Ishtar and the Thones, we are looking for the light, the love, the strength, the optimism of the divine to release the past with grateful forgiveness, to ask for strength and help to move our projects forward in an optimistic way. So the rainbow-colored fairy queen reminds us that the blessings of life are here. Her glass that she's got in her hand is half full, and she knows eventually it's going to fill up. The positive outlook is manifesting the filling up of this cup, and she gently knows that she's fully supported in every possible way she can be, which goes with the number 2. So we all have choices to be optimistic or pessimistic. We can look at glass half full and glass half empty. By changing the mindset and changing the choices, we embrace more of that optimism. And your affirmation from the optimism, queen of optimization is, I always look on the bright side of life. My plan, or my glass, is always full. And the future is always golden. You know, you may intuitively find that somebody needs a little strength today. So here we've got our magical fairy queen of strength in her serene highness riding the lion, basically saying, listen, you have no reason to fear. Call on your inner strength to overcome your difficulties. You can be forceful and gentle. Strength doesn't always mean physical power. Strength means that inner strength. If you know about the Wizard of Oz, we've got to manifest it from the inside and push it to the outside. If we want the love of God, the strength of God, the optimism of God, calling upon the Thones to make God's will come and activate the challenges, every challenge I face is an opportunity for growth. That's where your activation is. Releasing the past with grateful forgiveness. I actually like that. I release the past with gratitude and forgiveness. I like it. I really do. Because that brings me the sense of feeling like joy, feeling like lightness, feeling stronger, if you will, being optimistic. And I say this, I got to believe in something better. I got to believe in something higher. I've got to believe in something more than what the world is trying to, it feels to me as if the entire world, consciousness, in one half is fighting and the other half is weeping. People that want to take on all kinds of causes with gusto, nothing wrong with it, but let's not fight and slap and kill each other and hurt each other and wield our power. On the other side, you've got innocent people being treated like they shouldn't be treated. So then you've got those who want to help weeping, crying, because it's hurtful. I don't want to bring it down. I want the optimism fairy and the magical queen of strength. There we go. Bring in the optimism, the queen of optimization, and the magical queen of strength today. These two will help you on your way. Listen, I love you. Thanks for liking, subscribing, and doing all the things you do. And we'll see each other tomorrow. Bye for now.